Hello everyone, welcome to this YouTube live. In this live, I would like to teach about learning Python using ChatGPT. Before going further, I would like to share my screen and then I would like to check that live is going on smoothly. Okay, let me first check the audio quality. I'm just visiting my blog. My First I will check my YouTube channel. At Qpt is the handle. Okay, so this one live has started. Let me check the audio quality. And if you are watching this live, just share your feedback about the audio quality. Okay, if okay, it seems it's okay. I will just close this and you can ask any questions. Okay. But a few hours back, I did a complete Q&A kind of live. Okay. But this live, I would like to just share the things. Maybe if there are any major questions, you can ask. Otherwise, we can have a detailed discussion in upcoming live sessions. Okay. In this live, I would like to teach about the way of using ChatGPT for learning anything, especially for learning Python. Okay, that is the agenda of this live session. Let me like 1 second. I'll just close this. Okay, I closed WhatsApp and like okay now I close this block also. Okay, now first let us discuss about the chat GPT, how we are going to use that plan. Okay, okay. ChatGPT, I hope everyone is knowing about that AI tool, right? It's LLM from OpenAI. It's really very useful. Lot of users are there. A few weeks back, I released a book telling about how to effectively use uh, ChatGPT for learning English. Okay, so a lot of use cases are there. Okay, so today we are going to see how we can use ChatGPT effectively for learning anything, especially Python. Okay, so before going further, you should know about ChatGPT, right? So, for example, if we are going to learn something, we can share it with others as a group chat. Okay, we can start a group chat and then maybe after starting something then I will be sharing that link so that you can also check that. Okay, uh, so the group chat is a very effective tool. Okay, um, and we need to understand the basics of how this chart window is working, right? Like here if you start a new chart, then it will be keeping its own conversation history. Okay, so it is always better to start new whenever you are planning to learn something newly and keep that every learning items in the same window. Okay, but if you are planning to ask something, some questions irrelevant to your current context, maybe you can start another, maybe open new window and then you can start another uh, chart. There you can ask something. Okay, that is very fundamental things. But still, that so the different chart windows are connected through memory. Okay, so ChatGPT has that memory feature that will be based on your account. Okay, so that is different thing. Okay, but the basic thing is just to use single chart window for discussing any specific topic so that it can remember the context history. Okay, say for example if you are planning to learn Python, you can just learn all your uh, like questions are for learning all the things related to Python, keep in the same window. But if you have some questions, just start another window, something irrelevant to your current sequence, then use another window. Okay, so okay, so let us start learning Python. Okay, and if there are any issues or something, just let me know through the chat. We can discuss that. Okay, okay. Now yeah, I hope we are ready to start learning Python, right? So let me just hide this. Okay, okay. And Python is a very important thing. So maybe even we can start asking why we need to learn Python. Okay, before setting up everything, we can just instruct the chat gpt to consider it as expert in like consider you as an expert Python tutor. Okay, and teach me Python. Okay, if you're beginner, you can say beginner. If you're looking to learn Python for AI developer, you can say that I want to learn Python for doing AI development. Or if you plan to use Python for data analytics or whatever purpose, okay, or for web development, or based on the use cases and that field, that learning things will be entirely different. Anyway, for this live session, I would like to showcase the demo or the way of learning uh, basic things about Python, irrespective of specific domain. Okay, so I'm just asking, consider you as an expert Python tutor and teach me Python. Okay, so it's saying answer that I will teach you Python step by step as expert tutor in a simple, practical, beginner-friendly way. Real understanding, not just syntax. Okay. So by Python basics, very clear and fundamentals, control flow, like if and loops, functions, models, debugging like a pro. Okay. Breakpoint, exit, exceptions, files, and data. Oops, real world. Okay, it's commonly included in all kinds of courses, right? So we can continue with this setup. Okay. Otherwise, we have to ask ChatGPT to refine its responses, like consider me as beginner, or just to tell that I know already something about Python, like that. Okay, this is very common thing. So we can continue with this approach. Okay, so that it will be useful for most kinds of people. Okay, so the lesson one is what is Python. Python is a high level language. Okay, easy to read. Like just by reading the code, we can understand the flow, right? Interpreted, runs line by line, uh, used for AI, web, automation, data, DevOps. Okay, so very simple thing. Everyone knows this hello world kind of thing, right? Printing something. Uh, no semicolons, no braces, clean and readable. In case of Python, PHP, we got to use um, semicolons at the end of each thing, right? Even the variable should have dollar like that. Suppose if you are familiar with other languages, you will be feeling that Python is very simple, clean, and it's a very simple thing. Okay, so whenever you read any Python code, it is always better to practice it with Google Colab. It's an online thing. Okay, colab.google.com. Okay, so a Colab, if you are not familiar with Colab, it's a Jupyter notebook kind of application. It's a very, very simple and a very easy to use. Okay, so here create a new notebook. Okay, so if you're not familiar with the Colab, first become familiar with the Colab. It's provided by Google. It's free. It will be providing computing power, everything. So we can uh, like uh, uh, learn Python very easily. So just give the name like learn YouTube live, like that. I can give live Python learning. Okay. Okay, here we can run the code and we can see the result here. We can add comments, like a lot of things can be done. It's a very effective way of learning. If you are very beginner, I would suggest using this approach. Otherwise, if you are already familiar with some other languages, and if you want to straight away use VS Code or any kind of IDE, then it's okay. But for this today's uh, teaching, I will be using this Google Colab. Okay, and before going in further, I would like to tell about one of my books. I have released a lot of books in Amazon. You can search my name and you can find around 41 books. Okay, most of the books are AI related things. But since today we are talking about Python, I would like to tell about my book, Python related book. Visit rajamanikam.com. Okay, and suppose if you are interested in getting AI course, you can get click this one. This is very useful one. But if you are interested in learning only Python, then I would suggest buying that Python for AI developers. This one, okay. I provided link to this particular book ebook. It's a ebook, okay. in the description of this video. You can click that link and directly you can come here. Otherwise, visit rajamanikam.com and then click that item, and then you'll be seeing this. You can make the purchase. Okay, very very low price only. But if you buy my AA course, this one AA course, it's a highly recommended one. Here it will include that book. Apart from that book, it will be having a lot of other books also and lot of tutorial videos. It's highly recommended. Okay, and you can use the discount code QPT for getting discount also. Okay, so I already talked about these things in my previous videos. If you want to get more details, check that videos. Okay, let us continue learning about Python. Okay, so my suggestion is, if you are beginner, visit colab .google.com, and it is better. You can practice parallelly, right? Okay, so Python lesson one, just to print, right? So we can just print, just to copy paste, or better, it is always better to type, right? So that is a good way. But for print, hello Python. Okay, hello Python. Okay, so now you can just run it by clicking this thing. Maybe first time it's establishing connection, otherwise it will be very fast only. Okay, compared to a local, it is using Google's computing power, so mostly it will be very faster. Okay, so this is the key thing. Python is a very very simple and clean language, and it can be useful for various purposes. If you want to develop AI, you can use AI development, or for web development you can use, and for DevOps, like that's what here it's specified, right? AI, web automation, data, DevOps. Okay, okay. So it's just printing that thing. Okay. So here the print itself, we can have a lot of things like including the variable. Okay, so that we can learn step by step. As of now, you should be familiar with using Google Colab. Okay, how to go there, other things. Maybe I will share the link, Google Colab dot. But Colab.google will be rewriting here. Okay, so it is easy to remember colab.google.com, right? Just to remember that, I will share that link. Okay, I'm sharing that link. Okay, so you can practice a lot of things. Okay, suppose if that ChatGPT is telling one example, you keep on changing various things to be familiar with that thing. Okay, if you are interested to know about print, here here if you mouse over, it will give more details. Okay, prints the values to the stream, or to, like, you can just read more details, what are the arguments, what are the written variables, like that. Okay, so for that it is useful. Even here you can ask Gemini. It is connected with Gemini. Okay. So if you have any questions, or any questions related to it, it will be knowing this context. Okay. So in that case, it is better to use the chat, LLM chat here. Okay, to get more clarification. Okay. So let us just go through one by one. Okay, so the first lesson is about what is Python kind of stuff. Okay, second lesson number two is variables and data types. Okay, here X is 20, name is Raj, price is like is active. So it's about variables, right? So it understands the type automatically. Python automatically understands the type. Okay, If you use 10, it is understanding that it is integer. If you use 99.5, it's considering as float. If we use the words Raj, then it is taking as str. True means bool. Okay, we are not specifying the data type, but it's automatically finding that variable. Okay, but if you want to check that, you can just use this of type keyword. Okay, maybe if you want, we can check that, right? But anyway, we will be seeing the detailed lessons, right? It's just summary. Okay, now we assign that we can type it, right? Type of x. So 10 is integer, name is str, price is float. I would suggest practicing everything. Okay, that will make you to understand the things easily, and you can remember a lot of things. And sometimes you may come up with some unexpected issues. So you'll be able to take steps to troubleshoot that. That experience will be useful for further learning. Okay, that will make your learning interesting. Okay, instead of just reading the things, just immediately copy and test it here. Okay, so next lesson, third lesson is input and output. For getting the input from the users, we can use the input. Okay, and for output, print. Okay, so for example here, so input. So input is asking enter your name, right? Printing this value, and then it is waiting for user input. Okay, I'll be saying that Raj and enter. So it is saying that hello Raj. Here the print is concatenating the fixed string and this dynamic variable, right? So for that there are different ways. This is like a old way of doing. But normally we will use the advanced things like F string. Okay, that way we can see later. But here it's printing, right? So we are getting input from the user, and then we are giving the output to the as a response to the user, right? So we are printing hello Raj. So and one more thing is that input always returns strings. Okay, sometimes you will be facing issues if you are expecting some numbers. So in that case, you have to manually convert it into numbers. Say for example, if like running it again, it is asking. So name is I'm just age. Maybe here it is age asking that hello 3. Suppose if I ask it to increase the age, it will be giving error. So it's giving error. Okay, so in that case you have to convert it. Okay, so we have to convert in this way. So it's increasing the number and is printing as 5, right? So we need to remember that input that feature will be uh, returning only the string. Okay, so there are a lot of that kind of subtle things are there. We need to understand those things, and the purpose of this lesson is to tell about the input and output. Okay. Moreover, the overall purpose of this live session is to teach you how to learn Python using ChatGPT. Okay. So in that perspective, for it's for beginners. Okay. So just to try to understand the overall overview about Python. Then once you are familiar with, once you start getting interest in learning Python, maybe based on your use cases, your purpose, your way of learning, you can change the things. But as of now, just to try to understand the basic things. What is Python? What is variables and data types? Like very simple things. Just try to grasp those things only as of now. Okay, because if you try to learn everything in the beginning, you'll be getting confused. Mostly, we'll be getting we'll be forgetting the things, right? So try to understand the basic things alone. Okay, no need to understand each and every detail. So in case of simple conditions like if condition, right? If else, it's common for almost all the languages, right? So, but I will tell you the differences. Okay, here age is assigned as 20. If age greater than or equal to 18, print adult, else print minor. Okay, so it's assigned 20, so adult. If it is 2, then it should be minor, right? It's minor. Okay, so it's working. So the key difference is, normally if you take C, Python, or like PHP or any kind of language, mostly JavaScript, everywhere we use braces, right? So here we are not using braces. We are just using indentations. Just we are indenting the print statement here, so that we can say that it is part of the block of that if block, right? Else block is print minor, right? So we just use the indent, some tab. Okay, that way it is that number of lines will be easy, and it is just looking very simple and very readable, right? So but we have to make sure that the intents are proper, right? That issue is there. We cannot say that issue. We have to manage it properly. So normally the IDs like VS Code, that they will be helping to handle that very easily, and that's why we have to use standard Python supported ID instead of just typing on Notepad or something. Okay, in that case we have to manually delete, then that will be a tedious one. Okay, so that is very important or key difference between Python and other languages. Okay, but otherwise that statements, if, else, and everything is same only. Only thing is here you have to use colon at the end of if. No need to use brackets. Okay, uh, that's it. The braces are not recorded here. So Python uses indentation, not braces. Okay. So then loops, obviously. So almost if you learn any kind of language, these are the building basic building blocks of any language, right? So we should be familiar with all these things so that we can use that things effectively. Okay. So loop, for loop. Okay. So for loop, for I in range of 5, print I. Okay, so here we use the intent, right? Just make note that we use intent so that it is inside the for loop. And for normally for each, like in other language you might be seeing that, right? Similarly, like for I in range of 5, print I. So it will be printing all the values from 0 to 4. Okay. Okay. So we need to remember this, right? Right. Even if we use say range 5, it is starting from 0. Index starts from 0, right? That is for loop. While loop, like while count less than or equal to 5, print count. Up to 5, it has to print, right? So starting. So we are increasing the count. If it reaches 5, then it will be ending, right? So we start from 2, then it will be printing 2, 3, 4, 5. So then functions. So function definition is, so functions are, if you are familiar with functions, you should be knowing that functions are useful when we are using the same piece of code in multiple places, right? So basically code reusability, right? And it will be increasing the code readability also, and maintenance also, simple debugging, everything will be becoming easy. Like it's a very very basic feature of any kind of programming language. So in that perspective, functions play important role in Python also. Here we have to use this keyword, def definition, right? So def and then function name and argument, then return. So the same structure almost for any programming language. Okay. So here we are calling the function. So here we define the function greet. Okay, the argument is name. Return value is hello plus that name. So here we are using greet. We are calling this greet and printing the return value. Okay, so we are passing the argument Raj, the string as the argument. Okay, so it's saying that hello Raj. If you are saying that QPT, then it will be saying hello QPT. Okay, so that is the purpose of the functions, right? Instead of hard coding the detail here, we can just pass the value to the function. So maybe we can discuss those details in detail when we see that lesson. Okay, lesson 7 is debugging. Okay, so normally in other language, example in PHP, we use die statements like that, right? So stop that thing. Here in Python, we can use sys.exit. Okay, we need to import sys. That I will be talking later. What is import other things? Okay, and similarly, we can use the breakpoint also. So in that case, we can execute the variables after even after using the breakpoint. So that we can discuss. That and all for debugging the code. That is very important. So first of all, we should know the basic things data types and like loops and that kind of basic things. And then we should know about the debugging the things, right? Troubleshooting the things. Okay, and then we need to practice a lot of things. Okay. Okay. So now this is the overview of this structure. ChatGPT is going to guide, and it is giving some options like absolute beginners, uh, whether it should be for absolute beginners, fast track, Python for AA, Python for web and automation, debugging best practices. Okay. But as I said, you just give the response based on your current skill set and your purpose. But for just a demo purpose, I'm just using this absolute beginner so that anyone can watch this video. Okay, so I'm just saying that absolute beginner. Just we can type one itself. So now it will be coming up with a detailed thing. Okay, starting from zero. What you need to know first? Python runs top to bottom. Okay, it's kind of interpreter, right? Line by line from the top, it will be executing until the bottom. Uses indentation instead of braces. Okay, for loop or while loop or any kind of blocking purpose, it will be using indentation instead of braces. So it's very forgiving for beginners. Beginners can easily learn this without worrying much about syntax or things. Okay. So hello, well, we already printed, right? Print hello Python something. Okay. So print built-in function. It is built-in function. So In some place we notice that we have to import something, right? But in case of print in function, built-in function, we need not import anything. So print is built-in function. Hello world is a text string. Okay, Python displayed it on the screen. Okay, so text means it should be inside the quotes. Either it can be double quotes or single quotes. Okay, and comments. Okay, so here suppose if you want to add comments that are readable by the human but it shouldn't be interpreted by the Python interpreter, then you have to use this hash symbol. Okay, if you use the hash symbol, then it won't be considered for any actual coding. So for example, okay, so it's not doing anything. Okay, but if you remove the hash, then it will be considered as actual coding, then it will give you error, right? Okay, so the hash, you have to use the hash symbol, symbol, right? Python ignores comments. And variables, this one I already noticed, right? Age equal to 30, name Raj. So equal means assign. Okay, so for assigning the things we are using the equals sign. Okay, and as we discussed earlier, Python decides the type automatically. So we need not specify that it is integer, it is string, like that. It will be doing it automatically. Okay. So numbers and maths, for say for example, for handling numbers, you can use like this. So for example, we are assigning AS10, BS3. Okay, A plus B will be adding those numbers. A minus B is subtraction. A this multiplication star symbol, and this is division slash. Okay, so just to notice these symbols. Okay, so we have to use these symbols, plus, minus, this star symbol, and this. So it's giving that value. As noted here, that division result will be in float, always float. Okay, string concatenation here. We already noticed, right? If the name is Raj, then hello Raj means hello plus. Previously we noticed a comma, right? That also will work. That's what initially I said. There are different ways. Okay, one way is using comma, another way is using plus. So hello Raj. Here also we can use comma also. That also using hello Raj, and F string also there that we will discuss. That's a effective way. But as specified here, this approach plus approach will be working for only for strings. If you use the 30, it won't work. That's why that comma approach is there. Okay. So it is always better to use this approach, comma approach. Otherwise, always to go straight away we can go to the F string. Okay, that we will discuss. Okay, but these kinds of knowledge also required, because as a developer, you may not start from scratch. You may need to go through the existing code that might be written 1 or 2 years back. Okay, and you need to understand the code, and you need to convert it into new things, or even for making new features, adding new features, or any making any corrections, you need to understand the existing code, right? In that perspective, it is very important to know the old way of writing code. Okay, though you are not going to use it, we need not to use that, and we should not use the old way, right? Because the new way is very easy and more effective. That is true, but we need to understand all the possible ways so that we can understand the existing code. Okay, so in that perspective, you can understand that this concatenation can be used to using plus symbol, comma, and obviously F string. Okay. So getting input from user, this one already we know used this input, right? Okay. It always returns string. Okay. So in that case, we have to do the type conversion. Okay. Okay, simple condition and age. So here we have to notice that as a beginner, you should notice that there is no braces, right? So, but indent is there. So, and remember this colon at the end of the if. Normally, people will be forgetting that. If you are new to the Python, you need to remember colon, okay, indentation. Indentation, you can use the space like tab or four spaces. That is so, okay. You can try these things. Okay. So whenever you study through ChatGPT, it is better to do some kind of practices as suggested by ChatGPT. Okay. But if we do everything, it will take more time. So I'm just skipping that part. Okay. Okay. Just try this thing. Okay. Okay. Now we can move to the next thing. Okay. Okay. We can go to the next lesson, right? Next lesson. I can ask this next lesson. It will give the next lesson. Otherwise, it provided two options, right, to deal with the existing lesson. Okay. Okay. Next lesson is lesson number two: decision making, thinking in Python. And this is one of the ways. Okay, learning Python using ChatGPT is one of the way. But we need to understand that ChatGPT is subject to hallucinations. Okay, so you need to be very careful. You suppose if it is completely deviating from the task, then just to stop it. Okay, and you should be cross-checking with other things. That's why I always run the code in the Colab, or if you have any questions, search on Google, get some clarification. Okay, instead of 100% relying on the Chat GPT, just to cross-check with other sources. And a lot of different ways, like you can search like various things like GitHub code samples are there, and even if you are very very beginner, like tutorial site like W3 schools, that gives the things in a simple way, like w3schools.com. Okay, W3 school Python. So you can learn from here also. So it's purely based on your thing. Okay, so here you can just find the topics. You can go through one by one. Here also they provide a lot of practice. Okay, this is also one way of learning Python. You can learn from there. Okay, and as I said, the current way is like learning through ChatGPT. But what I'm saying is just cross check with other approaches also. Cross check with other approaches to make sure that ChatGPT is not hallucinating. Okay, and okay. There are various ways. Maybe we can discuss separately. But right now, the point I'm making is cross-check with other things. Even like ask Gemini or any other alternate LLMs. Okay, or if you feel that something is fishy or suspicious, you can ask ChatGPT itself whether you are sure that like that something. Okay, so that's how we can avoid hallucination. If you're not familiar with what is hallucination, hallucination in the sense sometimes ChatGPT will be giving irrelevant replies. Okay, that's how all the AI models are like, especially the LLMs are designed in that way only. Though we are calling them as AI, artificial intelligence, in fact they are not having any cognitive intelligence ability. Okay, they are working in a different way, like predicting next token. That is the fundamental operation of any kind of uh, uh, AI, especially LLMs. Okay, so in that case, their task is predicting next token. So it's generative thing. Okay, so even if relevant information is not there with their training data, they'll be trying to like generate something. So in that case. hallucination occurs, right? Generating irrelevant things, because if the training data is not having any relevant things, it will be trying to generate irrelevant things. Okay, that is good for story writing, poem writing, that kind of creative things, but not for factual things. Okay, so in that case, we need to make sure that hallucination is not occurring. Okay. Okay. Otherwise, it's well and good. Suppose if you already know something, and if you are asking something, if you are asking it to create some sample code or something, then it's okay. If it is working, means okay, it's not. But if you don't know anything about Python, in that case, 100% relying on ChatGPT is not a good way. That I wanted to highlight here. Sometimes it will work properly. Sometimes it will give some kind of issues. Okay. So, okay, next lesson is if else. Okay, if else. So we can just copy this. So these are all common for any kind of other languages. I'm just running it just to be familiar with that. Okay. So first we are assigning this age by getting input from the user and converting into integer. Okay, as we discussed earlier. And then we are checking if age is less than 13. In that case, we are printing as child. Else if age less than 18, teenager. 18 in the sense it should be more than 13, right? uh, Equal to or more than 13, because in case if it is less than 13, it will be printing already, it might have printed like a child, right? So in that case, even if you are typing else if age less than 18, it means that age is more than 12, right? 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay. And if it is else means, if it is any case here, here it will handle up to 13, here 18, so less than 18, so 18 or more will be printing adult. Okay. So this is the basic structure. If else if here elif, elif. Okay. If elif, else is the default thing. Okay. If nothing is covered in this if and elif blocks, then this will be printed. Okay. See, just I'm starting with the age 3. Okay. So it's printing as child, and 17, teenager. Okay. 18, adult. Okay. It's clear, right? So if age less than 13, print child. If age less than 18, print teenager. Else, print adult. Else is default thing. If nothing is covered in this if and elif blocks, then elif else will be take, come into the picture. Okay. Python stops checking once a condition is true. Okay. So if it is true means, then next it won't check. So the order matters. So first it will check if condition, then elif, then finally it will go to else. But if some condition becomes true, it won't go to the else. Okay, so it will be executing only one block. Okay, if nothing is true, then it will be taking this final else, that block. Okay. So next one is comparison operators. Obviously double equal is equal. So it's obviously it's similar to any other language mostly. So equal symbol is double equal. So single equal is assigned, that we know, right? That is different thing. But here we are talking about comparison operators. So double equal is equal. This exclamation equal is not equal. This is greater than symbol, less than, greater than or equal, less than or equal to. Okay. Example. So pretend double equal to 10. It should be true, right? True. It is 11 and false. Okay. And not equal to. So for example, not equal to 11 means it should be true, right? Okay. It should be false, right? Okay. So common mistakes that assign using instead of equal, if you use that single equal, that is assignment, right? So that time it will be giving error. And we already we checked with if condition and then comparison operators, then logical operators like and or not. Okay. And means both conditions must be true, or means at least one condition must be true, not reverses the result. Okay. So similar to any other language, but just notice the syntax, other things. So for example, here, so here we are using and means both conditions should be true. Age should be greater than or equal to 18, as well as age should be less than or equal to 60. So it should be from 18 to 60. Then it's a working age, right? Age 25 means it's working age, right? Age 17 it should be, it's not printing anything. In that case, we have to use else, right? Not working age. So I missed this. So this is a common thing. So we have to remember that we need to use the colon at the end of if else. So not working age. So 18 should be working age. Okay. And 60 should be working age. 61 should be not working age, right? 61 not working age. Okay. So we need to understand the flow, like if the condition, like both conditions, this condition and this condition, if both conditions are true, then uh, this and condition will become true, right? So that is the and. Or means one, like if like instead of and, if you use or, so working age, even if it's 61, it's working age because it is like greater than 18. So that condition is true, right? So in that case, if you use like some 6, then only it will be saying that not working. Here also, even in this case also, this condition will be true, right? It is less than or equal to 60. So any number will be printed as true if you use the or condition. Okay. So the best example for or is, so day is assigned as Sunday, Sunday is assigned as day. If day equals to Saturday or day equals Sunday, then print weekend. Okay. So Sunday is weekend. Suppose if it is Monday, then it won't say that. Okay, it's not a weekend, right? Saturday is weekend. So it can be either case, right? Either Saturday or Sunday. Okay, that's what. So that means if condition will become true, if any of the conditions is true, okay, in the case of R, and means both conditions must be true. Here, at least one condition must be true, and not will reverse it. Okay, say for example, so here is logged in, is assigned as false. If not is logged in, print please login. So this logic will be used for asking the user to log in when they haven't logged in already. Okay. So in that case, the flag is set as false initially. To check whether they haven't logged in, we can use just not log in. Okay. So please log in. Okay. So if they haven't logged in, so it's asking. If it is true, it would ask that. Okay. So not will reverse that condition. It will flip or invert. And the next one is nested if, which inside here. So you can have like this one outer if, and then inside that block we can have another if else, and this is outer if else. Okay. So it's very common, right, in any language. So same thing is applicable for Python also. Okay. You can enter the age as 5, and it's saying that minor. Okay. 18 is saying as adult. 61 senior citizen, right? So first it is checking whether the age is greater than or equal to 18. So in that case, again it is checking whether the age is greater than or equal to 60. In that case, senior citizen, else adult. Okay, otherwise minor. So if their age is less than 18, they are minor. Greater than 18, then again it's doing another checking whether it is more than or equal to 60. Then in that case, it is a senior citizen, right? Else, just adult. Okay. So this is like nested if. So wrong indentation, that's a common issue. Okay. And comparing different data types. Okay. And practice exercises. So you can just check this. Maybe we can do one example. Whether anyone is watching this live. Okay. Okay. So as I said, I would suggest always practicing something to save the time. And if I do everything here, people may not be interested in watching the video. So I'm just skipping that part. But you need to just do it by yourself to get idea. And if any questions, maybe you can ask me. We can discuss. Okay. So next lesson will be about for loop, while loop, range, when to use which loop. So basically about loops. So I'm asking next lesson. Okay. So I'm just telling this to explain about how to use ChatGPT for learning something. Okay, that's the purpose, not about teaching Python. Okay, teaching Python we can effectively learn in different ways. Okay, but this is one way. It's okay. It's not that much bad. Okay, this one also it's good only. Okay, but personally, I would like to teach more about RAG, agents, LangChain, and other things. This is just for example, so that anyone can easily understand. Right? Okay, maybe in the coming upcoming live sessions, we can take another topic also. So basic example, we already checked this example, right? So for I in range is 5, print I. So it will be printing this output. So range 5 is 0 to 4. That normally people will be getting that kind of confusion whether the index start with 0 or 1. Here is 0. Okay. So range start stop step. Okay. So here we used very simple form of range, right? But it's a default thing, but it has controls. Okay. Say for example, if you want like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, just to specifying this is enough. But if you want to specify like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that means the starting should be 1 means you have to give the start value. Okay. So otherwise by default it will be taking as 0. Okay, and stop value is 6. Okay, because it has to print 5 values, right? So normally the thing is it will include the start value but it will ignore the stop value. Okay, so in that case we have to provide like this. And suppose if you want to increase by 2, like if you need only uh, odd numbers, then we can start with 1, end with 10, and the steps should be 2. It should be increasing by 2, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, like that. Okay, so this is the complete details about range, but normally everyone will be using the default thing. So range 5 means by default it will start with 0, it will end with 5. Okay, the step will be 1. That's a default value for range. Okay, so here this example is looping through text. Okay, so we can, that first example was for number, right? Using a range. Here we are going to loop through text. That I will show the example. Okay. So name is assigned as Python. For ch in name, print ch. Okay. So it will be printing each character. Okay. Python Python. Okay. But it is just a variable. We can use a see. Okay, it's just a variable. Need not be that. It's not a keyword. Okay. Okay. For C in name, print C. Okay. For numbers means you have to use that range, right? For I in range. Print. Okay. While loop. While loop, you already noticed while loop, right? So the key thing is if you don't know how many times to loop, then we have to use while loop. If we know the fixed size, then we can use for that loop, right? For loop is useful in that case. But if you don't know how many loops, if it is going to end the looping based on the conditions satisfied, then it is better to use while loop. Okay. Okay. And the next thing is break and continue. The break is to exit the loop. Okay, suppose if the loop is starting from this range, using range 10 loops, but if it is reaching certain condition, like if I equal to 5, then if you want to break it, use the break. So in that case, just check the output. If there are any questions, just stop me. If anyone is watching this live, I will be giving more details. Okay. So here it's printing 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Though we set the range top value as 10, still it is printing up to 4 only. That means here it's breaking. If I equal to 5, so it's breaking. So it's not printing. Okay. It's printing till 4 only. And the next example is continue. So that will skip the current step, but the other things will be continued. Break means it will completely break. See, for the same thing for I in range 5, if I equal to 2, continue. So this is only, it will be skipping that loop only. Okay. So in case of while loop, we need to be careful that we are passing the things like conditions. Like here, you are using count, right? So in that case, you need to be careful that you are updating that value so that the conditions will be met after certain number of iterations, right? Otherwise, you will be facing infinite loop. Okay, so that we need to take care. And indentation is important for anything, like if condition or for loop or while loop, whatever it is. Okay, so you can just do some exercises. Okay, next lesson is about lists are very important. So here is ChatGPT itself marked that it's very important. Okay. Okay, so let us start with next lesson. Okay, I would like to know whether it's readable or not. If it is not readable, I can just. Okay, the lists. It's kind of array. Okay, so in other languages we will use arrays, right? It is for storing multiple values. Okay, a list is used to store many values in one variable. Okay, that is the purpose of list. So it is the most important data structures in Python. Okay, so for creating a list, we have to use this square bracket. Okay, this one, and we can use a list of numbers, a list of strings, and a mixed things. Okay, so list can store any type, even mixed one. So this list is having integers, strings, boolean, float. Okay, so there is no constraint there. Let's get it. Okay, so it's running without any issue, right? So for accessing list items, we have to use like this. We have to use the index. Index starts from 0. Okay. So 0 means Raj, right? Suppose 1 is Anu. Anu. Okay. Index starts from 0. we need to use this chord bracket. Okay, it's very simple, but it's very very important. List is very very important. It will be heavily used in any kind of coding. So we can use this notation also. Minus one means it will be printing the last value. So one means starting from, okay. So it will be like from last, like that. Okay. For modifying the list, we can simply assign that value, right? So for example, if you want to change the second, so the second one is Anu. Anu is now getting replaced with Priya by just directly assigning the value. Okay. Only thing is we have to use this index here, names of this second name, right? So here, though we provide the number one, it is referring the second one. As we said, the index starts from zero. Suppose if you want to add new item at the end of the list, then you have to use this one, append. Okay, append race means it will be appending it. Maybe you can print it. So it's adding this race at the end. I ran it two times, so I'm running it again, again, again. So this time one time, right? Okay. This is for adding. Append means adding the item at the end of the list. Append will add the item at the end of the list. Okay, so we have to use append for adding the item at the end of the list. Okay. Uh, Suppose if you want to add the item at particular position, we have to use insert. Okay. Suppose if you want to insert it here at position number one, I ran two times, right? So it is three times. Okay. Let us starting from run start. Okay. So here it's Raj Anu Kumar. Now Vijay is inserted before Anu. Okay. So that means it's in the index number one. Okay. So that's a comment. Insert one Vijay. Other all the other items will be automatically changed. So for removing item, either we have to use the remove to remove by value, or we can remove the last item using pop, or we can remove specific item by specifying the index. Okay, so these three things. It's based on our use. Suppose if you want to remove any specific item, suppose just if you want to remove Raj, you can ask remove Raj. Okay, so here, So it removed Raj. Okay. If you use pop, then it will remove the last item. So here the last item is Kumar, right? So it will remove that. So it removed the Kumar. So pop will remove the last item, something like append will add the item at the end, right? So pop will remove the item at the end. So insert that index and that value, that will be adding the value at position. Similarly, pop of that index will be removing by the index. Suppose if you want to add remove any specific item by giving the value, you can use remove. Okay, pop will based on the index, remove will be doing the removal based on the value. Insert will be useful for inserting any value at a specific index. Okay, otherwise if you want to just append, you can use append. So we can loop through the list also. Like for that, we can use this range, right? So up to the length of that list, we can go through the loop, okay, using for loop. Or similar to previously, we noticed like characters in the string, right? Similar that also we can do like this. Name in names, print name. Okay, that will also print the names. The no. So various ways. So based on our use case, we can choose the appropriate one. If you need is index, then you have to use this approach for loop with the range. Otherwise, you can just use for name in names. It's enough. Okay, some useful list functions. Length of that list name will print the length, how many items are there. Max means the largest one, and minimum means minimum value. Sum means sum of the numbers. And even we can sort it. Okay, so for example, we can. Okay, let me check any question is there. No questions. I will be continuing. Okay. Okay. Numbers 3 to 5 to 9 1, right? So length is 4. 4 items are there. Okay. And max number is 9. Correct, right? Minimum is 1. And sum is 17. Okay. After sorting that, now it's becoming 1 to 5 9. Okay. So here we know that we can use sort function to sort the numbers within a list. Okay. Common beginners errors are like index. Index is important. If that list is not having that much items, if you are using, say for example, if the list is having 10 items and if you are using 11 as index, then that kind of errors will be occurring. And we need to treat list and strings properly. Okay, so we cannot append value to the strings. Okay, we have to treat strings as strings, um, list as list. Okay, so you can do these exercises, create a list of 5 numbers and print them one by one, find the sum and average of a list, ask yourself for 5 names, store them in list and print them. So just you can understand these things, but doing a lot of that kind of processes, a lot of packages, libraries are there, NumPy, Panda, that we can see later. Okay, so next lesson we will be learning about tuples, sets, dictionaries. Okay, real world examples. So next lesson, next. Okay, so now we have gone through the important data structure list. Okay, similar to data list, there are other data structures. Okay, um, like tuples, sets, and dictionaries. Okay, tuples are read-only list. Yeah, tuple is like a list but cannot be changed. Okay, so for example, color red, green, blue, like that means we can access the colors, we cannot change it. Okay, so something similar to uh, uh, list, we can just access the red by giving the index 0, right? The advantage is it will be faster than lists. Okay, safe, there is no accidental change because we cannot change the tuple, right? So but we cannot change the value. If you try to change the value, it will give error. So the syntax is, instead of that square bracket, here we are using normal bracket. Okay, so here this is called as tuple, so it will be fast and safe. Okay, so color, if you want to print red, you can print like this. It's printing red, right? And suppose if you want to change the red into yellow, it will be giving yellow. So it will be giving error. Tuple object does not support item assignment. Okay, so we cannot assign value to the tuple item. Okay, so the difference is only this difference, right? uh, the bracket. So next thing is sets. In case of sets, there won't be any duplicates. A set stores unique values. Okay, so that notation is this brace, instead of a bracket, we have to use this curly brace. Okay, so here numbers are like 1 2 3 3 4, but if you print the numbers, it will be printing the 3 one time only. But if we print numbers as a list, it will be printing as it is. Okay, but in case of sets, it will be printing uniquely. Okay, that is the difference between list and the sets. Okay, a tuple is not changeable. Okay, it's a fixed one. The notation is normal bracket. Okay, for list, square bracket. For sets, it's a curly braces. Okay, for adding the values, you have to use add, and remove, you have to remove. So this is useful for removing the duplicates. Okay, so making it unique. Any set of values can be easily made as unique values using set. Okay, and then next thing is, next data structure is dictionaries. The dictionary stores data as key value pairs. Okay, instead of just values, storing values, it will be storing the key also. Normally here that values are accessed based on the index only, right? But here we can access them using key also. Name is Raj, age is 20, course is Python, like that. Okay. Otherwise, the first value is Raj, second value is 20, third value is Python, like that we need to store, right? Here we can give the key for that so that we can directly, suppose if you want to get the age, you need not know at what place age is there, right? You can just say that like age of the student, like that. Okay. So here student name means it will be printing the name. Student age means it will be printing the student age. So let us show that the demo. Okay. It will be printing the name Raj. Okay. And we can add new values and but if you are adding new value or modifying something, you need to specify the key, right? Student age is 21. If you are trying to change the age from 20 to 21, you need to specify here. Okay. I'm just trying to access it as a list category. Okay, you cannot do like this. It's so it is okay. Giving key is mandatory. Okay. Okay, now it shows 22. Okay. So we have to, in case of dictionaries, we have to use keys compulsory. We can loop dictionary using in this way for key value in student items and then uh, print key and value. Okay. So here, when to use what? In case of list, it is changeable items, tuple, fixed data, set, unique items, dictionary, key value data. Okay. So in case of key value, you have to use the quote. Okay. And in case of dictionary, we should avoid giving duplicate keys. Okay. So next lesson is about functions. Okay, parameters, return, print, real world examples. Next. Let me check in the meantime whether anyone is asking any questions. Okay, no questions. I'll be continuing this. Okay. So as I said earlier in the beginning, if you are interested in getting my AA course, visit my website rajamanikam.com, RAJAMANICKM. Okay, here you can click this course. There you find a lot of information, more than 9 A related ebooks, a lot of tutorial videos running more than 8 hours. So you can just check that. Okay, so you can go through the details. As of now, you can use the discount code QPT for getting 50% discount. Okay, uh, I will be just sharing the link in the chat. Okay, if anyone interested, you can check that. Okay. Okay. Now let us continue our discussion about learning Python. Okay. So next one is functions. Think like a programmer. Okay. Functions help you reuse code, organize logic, avoid repetition, debug easily. So debugging is easy. If there are any issues, if you narrow down that the issues in function, you can just troubleshoot that function alone, right? And reuse code. If the same function is like same piece of code is recorded in many places of the program, then we can create the code at one place and we can reuse that. Okay. And organize logic and avoid repetition. So it is the code maintenance and updations can be done easily. Okay. Troubleshooting also easy. A function is a block of code that runs only when called. Okay. So already we noticed this, right? Greeting, greet. That we have to remember this DEF definition. In case of Python, the way of creating function is using this keyword DEF. Okay. So function can be created without parameters or with parameters also. In case of parameters, we can pass values, arguments to the function. Okay. Name is a parameter, or just an argument. It's a parameter, it's an argument. While calling the function, we can pass arguments. Okay. Okay. In the function, if you are just using print, it will be show the output. But suppose if you want to get the output value return, we have to use return. Okay. So return a plus b like that. Okay. So return is important, similar to parameter or argument for receiving the input. For similarly for outputting output from the function, we have to use the return, the keyword return. Okay. These are all very common things for any kind of language. If you're already familiar with any language, you can easily relate this. Okay. But suppose if you are not familiar with all these things, you need more guidance. If you want me to teach personally, you can contact me for one-on-one coaching. Though I personally interested in or giving importance for teaching RAG, agents, and LangChain, that kind of stuff. Still, if someone asks me to teach Python, SQL, that kind of stuff, still I can teach them. Okay, step by step in a detailed way. Okay, so based on your needs, because that will be one-on-one coaching, right? So in that case, I can teach based on your requirements. Okay, if you are interested, contact me. You can find the details by searching my blog, UPT blog. Search my blog, go to my blog, and then click the link one-on-one AI coaching. There you can find all the details about my one-on-one AI coaching. Okay, so here you can find the details. Okay, my hourly charges and my email ID. Okay, and sample videos, and you can freely download many ebooks. Okay, so suppose if you, anyone is needed, you can check. I'm just sharing the link through the chat. Okay. Okay. So as we discussed earlier, return will be returning the value from the function to the main. Okay. Okay. Another concept is default parameters. In the parameters, we can give default parameters. That means if we are not passing the value, it will be taking the default value. Say, for example, take this example. Okay. So we already we gone through this example. I'm just so this one great, right? So here we just normally it will be like a parameter means the name alone will be there, right? Here we added the default value name equal to guest. Suppose if we are passing the argument while calling the function, then that argument will be used. Suppose if you are not passing the argument, instead of giving error, it will be taking this default value. So for example, here we are running greet without argument, with argument. In case of without argument, it is using this default value, parameter value. And with if you are passing the argument, that default parameter value will be overwritten, so it will be taking the passed argument value. Okay, so it is very user friendly, right? Suppose if you don't want to change something, you can use the default value by just to ignoring to specify that argument. Okay, or if you want specific details, you can just pass specific detail. Okay, so if you want to change the default value, you can change here. Default value will be changed. Okay, so if you are not passing the parameter, then the default will be taken. Okay. So these are all called as default parameters, right? And similar to arguments, return values can also be returning multiple values. We have to use just this comma. So for example, so here we are using this calculate, passing the parameters a, b, and returning a plus b and a minus b also. So and assigning this a plus b as some value, and a minus b as different value, differ. We can print that value. Okay. Okay. Sum is 10 plus 5, 15. Difference is 10 minus 5, 5. Okay. So we can use nested functions, function inside function. Okay. So outer function, inner function. Okay. So even if you call the, you can, in this outer function, we can call this inner function. Okay. And it's a nested function, standard one, right? So these are all the common beginner mistakes, okay, in the indentation error. So always there in the indentation, whether it's for loop, while loop, or if condition. The same thing is applicable here also. Okay. So next we can learn about modules and standard libraries. Okay, let us see that next. Since people are not watching this live, I'll be just going through very quickly, and maybe in another live we can discuss in detail. Okay, so I'll be closing all these things. Okay, so still loading. Okay, so I just wanted to convey the message that ChatGPT can be effectively used for learning anything, especially learning programming language like Python. Okay, that is the fundamental idea for starting this live session. But anyway, I will just continue this till the very basics levels. Okay, and maybe in the upcoming lessons sessions, I will be talking about RAG, agents, that things. But I already did free webinars for teaching RAG. Suppose if you are interested, you can just watch that videos. And if you need more details, or if you need one-on-one AI coaching, you can contact me. I'll be sharing my email ID. You can find the email ID. Already I shared in many places, rajamanikam.a@gmail.com. Okay. Okay. So next thing is models, imports, debugging. What is a model? A model is a Python file that contains code you can reuse. Python already gives many built-in models. So it's like extension of function like that, we can assume, right? So functions we can call, right? So its model is a Python file itself. It contains code you can reuse. Just by importing that model, we can use reuse that model. Okay. So for importing the model, we can, suppose if you have some questions like what is the difference between model and function, maybe you can ask. That is where I just, we need to remember the context history or conversation history of ChatGPT. Okay, so here the things are going smoothly. In that case, we may not willing to disturb this sequence. So in that case, I would suggest starting another uh, window. Okay, another chart. Okay, here you can ask what is the difference between, or explain difference between. Explain between functions and models in Python. Okay, so as I said, if you need any more details about any specific topic, better ask in a separate chat. So function, what is function? Function is a block of reusable code that performs one specific task. Think of a function as a machine. You give input, it processes, it returns output. So this addition is one example. So we can use like this. Models is model in Python that contains functions, variables, classes. So apart from functions, it can have variables and classes. It's a toolbox. Okay, many tools, including function. Okay, so it's a Python file. Okay, mathutils.py. It can have apart from addition, it can have subtraction also. Okay, so the file is a model. So we have to use is like this import that we can see from that original chart. Okay. So here it provided the comparison chart. Block of code, Python file, purposes for a task, organized related code, code logic. Here functions, classes, variables, reusable, reuse logic, reuse collections of logic. Example, add. Here math, OS, this lot of models are there. Okay. Use functions when you want to reuse logic. You need clean and readable code. Use models when your project grows. You want to organize code properly. You want to share code between programs. Okay. So normally people will be getting questions about models versus packages. So that kind of questions. Maybe if there is a need, we can ask there. Okay. So we can go step by step. So that's what my suggestion when using ChatGPT for learning some topic to avoid confusing the flow. If there are any further questions, ask it in a separate thing, and just to keep on reading the current flow. Okay, going through the current flow. So model is a Python file. Model is basically .py Python file that contains code you can reuse. Function is just only a block of logic, right? Okay. So for using the model, we have to first import them. That is what initially I was talking about, right? I will be explaining about later, like that I specified. So that is what we need import. When talking about print, I was saying that print is a built-in function, so we would no need to import anything. But in case square root or any kind of math functions, we have to import math. Okay, so the reason is loading or processing thing, right? So suppose the core Python is having all the functionalities means processing will be requiring a lot of time, computing power, right? So to handle that, they arranged this modular approach. So very basic functions will be part of core Python, and for additional things, we have to import the record things. Lot of Python libraries are there. If you go through PyPy, you can check lot of things. Py, PyPy.org, right? Here you can find a lot of. So you can search anything. So if you want math, you can search math. not only the standard things, anyone can add here, right? So other people's libraries also we can use. Okay, so we have to import the uh, model, okay, before using that. Say for example, if you want to find the square root of any number, you have to import, otherwise it will give error. But in Core Lab, they already built in something, so even without math. That is okay. So math is not defined, right? So in that case, you have to import it. But what I'm trying to say is, in case of these models, we have to first install the package. But Colab, the package is already there, so it's not giving error. Okay. So square root of 16 is 4, right? So it's giving that value. So we can extend the capability of Python with more functions, right? That is the model concept. Okay. In that case, we need not make it very complex because we can import only the record model. So we have to just import the record model, and we can use the functions, classes, and the variables from that model. Okay. That is the concept of model. Okay. So we can import the whole model, like import model name, import specific function. In that case, we have to specify the like this from that model name, import that specific function. That also okay, but in that case, we need not use in this like math dot. It's not record because we already imported the function directly, right? So we can use the function name. It's based on our use cases, like based on suppose if you are going to use this square root multiple times, it is better to import like this so that you can unnecessarily avoid unnecessary usage of maths dot, right? If you are going to use it one time, maybe the uh, first approach is suitable. Apart from square root, if you are using other functions, then that approach is useful. So it's all about how you are going to use, whether you are going to use various functions from single model or single function from a model. Okay, so that based on that answer for that question, we have to choose the appropriate way. Okay, and suppose the model name is very lengthy, you can use alias name also instead of math. You can just use the alias name. Like suppose if you are planning to use the math, you can give us as m. Okay, and here instead of math you can use just m. Okay, okay, next topic is useful built-in models. Random datetime. So these are all useful models. In case of built-in models, as I said, we need not install the package. We have to just import it. Okay. So for finding factorials, we can use this math model. For using random numbers, we have to use this random. And the datetime, for dealing datetime, we can use this datetime, import datetime. Okay. It's printing the current time. Okay. Okay. Next is stopping program execution. Okay. It will be useful for debugging various purposes. So for that, we have to use this sys model. It's the exit function. Okay, we have to import the assist model and then use the exit. Okay, so normally that print statement will be useful for debugging, and we can use breakpoint also. So in case of breakpoint, it will be using Python's built-in debug. Okay. So you can explore these things. Like you can create some code and you can use breakpoint. Okay. And another topic is error handling, try exception, try except. Okay. That we can discuss later. That will be useful for preventing any crash. So divide by zero, that kind of error means we can get it unexpectedly, right? So that case, if you are using try block, in that case, if you're basically you're catching that exception, then that case the program won't be crashing. So we can print a custom error message. So in case of built-in models, it is important to import them before using their functions. Okay. So the bad practice is importing everything from math import star something, but that is not a good way. Okay. Okay. Next. Okay. Models we already noticed model, right? Stopping program execution, handling errors. Okay. Okay. Suppose someone wants to see this thing, maybe you can. Okay. After ending this, I will share this link. Okay. So file handling. Next topic is file handling, reading, writing files. Okay. So files are used to store data permanently. In case of a list or any kind of data structure, they are storing the values in memory only, right? Suppose if you close the program, that values won't be there after that. But if we need persistent storage, then we have to use files. So for that, we need to handle the files, reading, writing, that kind of things, right? That is useful for logging the details. Okay. So assume that this file has this value. Okay. So for opening the file, you can use like this. So in this file handling, better we can try from our local machine, because the Google Lab may not be useful, because there we have to upload the file. That option is there, but that's somewhat confusing thing. Okay, so maybe this one I can show through the studio. Okay, I will just open that. Public Raj land. Okay, here I will add a part. So first we can create data text. Okay, and add this value Python a automation. Okay. Then we are going to use this file. .py. If there are any questions, you can ask me. So that is the purpose of doing this live. Otherwise, I already released tutorial videos and books, ebooks. So if you have any specific questions, you can ask me now. Okay. So as of now, till now, I showed the demo using Google Colab, which is very user friendly. But now I need to explain about file handling, right? So now I am just um, showing the demo through VS Code, okay, IDE. So this is very useful IDE. It has a lot of extensions, things for specific to Python, okay. So here we have to open the uh, file using open data.txt or for reading, okay. And once after opening the file, we can just read that content and we can print that content, okay. We can execute that, right? Okay. So it's telling about virtual environment, right? So I will be explaining about that later. So it is reading the content and it is printing the content here, Python AI automation, right? So that is file handling thing. Just we can open the file for reading purpose, and then we can read the content, and then we can print the content. Okay. At the end, we have to close the file. Then only next time we can get access. Otherwise, the file will be in open state, right? The control won't be available for further process. Okay. So we need to close the thing. But sometimes we will be forgetting to close, right? So for that, it is telling some recommended way, right? So it is a normal way, automatic closing. Using with, we can automatically close. No need to close at any specific location. Okay. So that is the better approach. We need to follow this approach. Okay. So with open as if that read print content. So in this case, no need to explicitly close the file. So it will be automatically closed after reading the content. So it's effective, right? And in case if you want to read only the specific lines, so we can use like this. Since this our specific file is having data like this, both cases are looking similarly, but based on the data, we can find the difference. Okay. So for Writing, we have to open this as write W instead of R. It should be write. Okay, W. In case of W, it will be deleting the old content. So in that case, if you want to just append, you have to use A. Okay. Okay, and moreover, error handling, try catch that, try accept that is important in case of dealing files, because sometimes few files won't be there. Okay, so in that case, suppose if the file is not there, we are giving that error, right? But the actual thing, if you want to get some custom error message, better try to use try accept. Okay, especially this is very useful in case of dealing with files. Okay. For reading the file, we have to use the flag R. For writing the file, we have to use the flag W. For appending something, we have to use the flag A, right? So here we can write it. So we write it. Now if we read, or we can open from here itself, right? Data text. So now the content got changed. Okay. Because we use this W flag, right? So it overwritten that values. Okay. So these are very simple things, and moreover, we can use a lot of existing models to speed up the work. Okay, no need to reinvent the wheel, right? So if some already existing libraries are there, models are there, we have to import that models, and we can use their function. So as is shown in this PyPy, there are a lot of things. Even if you search for any kind of things, if you want to find factorial, maybe you can find a lot of things, even separate factorial model itself there. Okay, math models, lot of math models we already noticed, right? Suppose if you are dealing with any specific kind of domain specific things, you can find, probably can find a lot of already available models, so you can freely use them. Okay. Okay, next classes, objects, why oops matters, simple real world examples. Okay, object oriented programming we can check. So basically, as I explained earlier, Python can be useful for various domains: web development, automation, and AI. And mostly, I use Python heavily for AI-related things, RAG applications, and AI agents. Okay, but anyway, that fundamental knowledge is common for everything, right? So it is better to learn the basics of Python, though we are not going to deal it individually on everyday basis. But for troubleshooting something, it will be useful to know the basics of Python, whether you are going to use it for automation or AI or web development, for whatever purpose, or just uh, your personal use or whatever thing. Okay, so still understanding the basics of any language is important. So that is the purpose of this live session. I don't know whether it will be useful for many people, but that day I explained, right, about the importance of RAG agents, that are all very important, and they are in high demand. I'll be teaching about them in the coming sessions. I already did various free live webinars for teaching RAG, retrieval augmented generation. I will be planning to do that again in the coming days. Okay, if you're not subscribed to my channel, subscribe to get the alerts. Or additionally, you can subscribe to my website rajamanikam.com. so that I can send the newsletter or of any updates or any upcoming live sessions. Okay, here just to visit rajamanikam.com and then enter your email here and then subscribe. Okay. Okay. Any other questions? No questions, right? So let me continue this. So the next class is about classes objects. Okay, very simple. I'm not going to discuss in detail. So we know that functions are useful to avoid reusable code, other things, right? To I mean to repeating the code, right? So similarly, the concept of classes, that object-oriented programming is also very important in various perspectives. Okay, so that you should be familiar with that kind of concepts from other language. Even C++ is object-oriented programming language. Okay, so I hope most of the people will be knowing about that. Okay, that is like very modular. Like a lot of advantages are there. Like a lot of concepts are there in this object-oriented programming. Okay, so actually, class is a blueprint. Say for example, uh, say for example, car will be a class and the object is my car, your car, like that we can derive the object from that class. It's a blueprint. Suppose if you have plan for any building, that is blueprint, right? So by going through that plan we can build the building in many places, right? The actual object is plan, that building, but the plan is blueprint, right? That is class. Okay, so we can create simple class like this. Okay, so objects we can create objects like this. Okay, there are different approaches. Okay, you can just see some simple ones first. This is constructor, right? So we can add values like this. I'm not sure whether people who are very beginners may be interested in this kind of topics. As I said, I just thought of explaining about how to use ChatGPT for learning Python, right? So just to go through the details and just check about this. Things. Okay, and I hope that right now you might have received some basic understanding about Python and how to use ChatGPT for learning Python, right? So that is the purpose of this live session. Okay, just to continue watching my lives. The coming sessions I will be talking more details. Okay, um, if I explain everything, it will take more time, right? So we can split it, right? So up to this time, I hope I explained about how to use ChatGPT effectively for learning any concept, especially Python. It's very simple. Once you give proper prompts in beginning, you can just say that next, next, like that. You can ask, so it will be coming automatically. But as I said, if you have any questions, maybe you can ask another chat and ask specific questions. Otherwise the continuous flow will be interrupted. But if you want to do brainstorming instead of learning chapter by chapter, if you want to do the brainstorming, then in that case I would suggest doing that in the same window, same chart, so that it can get more details from the context history and it will effectively give answers. Okay, suppose if anyone is wanting willing to get this, maybe we can, I will share this. I don't know why it's taking time. Let us wait. Okay, I will copy the link and then I will share through the chat. Okay, so you can just go through that. You can also learn like this, and you can also. I thought of sharing it as a group chat, but I don't know whether people will be properly using that, or I don't know whether it's not good advice to share with public, right? So maybe for limited group we can share. I will be sharing with the people who are learning one-on-one coaching from me. Okay. So any questions? If there are any questions, you can ask me. Thanks for watching this live. And as I said, a few hours back, I did a live to talk about my blog.qualitypantic.com. There you can find a lot of articles about AI, artificial intelligence, and hundreds of articles. Okay, if you have any further questions, I can just answer them through the chat or by publishing more articles in the coming days. Okay, and as I said, you can effectively use ChatGPT for learning Python. If you are not familiar with ChatGPT, a few weeks back I released a book about ChatGPT. Actually, you can visit all my books. You can visit my blog by searching QPT blog, and then you can come to blog.qualitybantek.com, and then here you can click my books. Okay, here you can click my books, and here I provided the links to my books. One is my books available at rajamanikam.com. Okay, that I already talked about rajamanikam.com, and another one is this amazon.com link. Okay, as I explained earlier, rajamanikam.com will be having limited number of books, but amazon.com I released all my books there because I made some books as exclusive to Amazon. Okay, so in that case, I cannot sell it through my website. Okay, so here you can find my books. 41 books are there. N10 Power App. So this one, how to use AI tools to learn English, and RAG, agents, codes, Christmas, agents for beginners, agentic AI, context engineering, Python for absolute beginners, auto testing in the AI era, RAG, retrieval augmented generation. So this one, ChatGPT for absolute beginners. Okay. So if you are interested in knowing about ChatGPT about absolute beginners, you can click check this book. If you are Kindle Unlimited member, you can freely read that book because I enrolled into the KDP Select program. Okay. That is the reason why rajamanikam.com is not having that book. Okay. It's exclusive to Amazon. Okay. Okay. And if there are any other questions, you can always contact me by sending an email to my ID, rajamanikam.a@gmail.com. Okay. Let us discuss the details in the coming sessions. Suppose if you want to earn a 50 to 75 percentage affiliate commission, you can contact me. I'm offering 50 to 75 percentage affiliate commission for promoting my books and AA course available at rajamanikam.com. Okay. But anyway, my highest priority is right now selling my AA course. Okay, that is in high demand right now. You can easily earn significant money by referring that book. Okay, not only book, that course. Okay, I would suggest focusing on promoting my course because that course includes my other books also, AI related books. Not all the books. It has right now. It has these books, around 9 books. Here you can see the list of books included in this course. Okay. There are any other questions, you can ask me through the chat. I can explain that. And okay, so Python, learning Python is very easy, but making it effectively using in different scenarios and troubleshooting the things, that and all involves a lot of uh, challenging things. It may need guidance. In that case, if you need any guidance for doing any kind of projects, you can contact me for getting guidance for affordable hourly charges. That information I have provided here, one-on-one AA coaching. Okay, click that link and read the details about my hourly charges, other details. And if you need that kind of services, contact me, and you can tell about this opportunity to your friends also. Okay. Okay, let us meet in another session, maybe about RAG agents, that kind of thing. So Python, we have gone through the very basic things, right? But a lot of things are, each library has separate things. Okay, in the PyPy, you see, you can see millions of libraries, right? So that things, it's based on our path we are choosing, whether we plan to travel as a developer or web developer or like data analytics, like various things, or automation engineer, like that, right? DevOps. So that will make a change difference in the next upcoming lessons. But it is important to know the basic things, data types, structures, data types, and loops, that kind of stuff that we already gone through this session. And maybe later on we may see about like hoops, object oriented programming. But anyway, that and all common for any language. Here just we need to know how it is working for Python, right? That's the thing. And other things about sponsor post, other things maybe I will be talking about in a separate live session. Here no one is right now watching, right? So I'm just stopping here now. If there are any questions, you can contact me, and I would suggest buying my AA course with the discount code QPT to get a 50% discount. Use the discount code QPT at rajamanikam.com. Okay. And right now, I'm offering one-on-one AI coaching also. You can read the details here, this blog post. Suppose if I'm just showing here, suppose if you're not able to find the link, or if you need more details, just to contact me by sending an email. So you can find my email at rajamanikan.com. Only thing is you need to remember rajamanikan.com. Here you can find all the links, okay? Even my email address, rajamanikan.a@gmail.com. You can just send an email. I suppose if you want to get the AA course, or join one-on-one coaching, or join as affiliate, okay, or join as intern, that I already talked about my previous live session, okay. So if you want to discuss anything, or if you need any clarification, you can just send an email. We can just quickly discuss through a Google Meet, or if it is very simple, I will just explain through email itself. Otherwise, we can have a quick Google Meet discussion, okay. And let us then work together, okay. That's what my plan in the coming days, okay. And moreover, I am planning to, like in these days I'm just talking myself in that live, right? I thought it will be better to discuss with someone else. Say for example, in case of this learning, suppose any beginner means their way of learning may be different, right? They may be asking some different questions, I may not be including that questions. So in that case, even any beginner who is interested in learning can also join to this live through Google Meet, something, right? So that kind of live I'm expecting in the coming days. Actually, I started that kind of initiative long back, titled QPT Talks. Okay, I thought of inviting experts in emerging technologies, but now what I'm thinking is, instead of just waiting for experts to participate in the sessions, even any beginner can also participate, so that they can ask questions to me, I can answer them. That kind of stuff, right? That we can explore, okay. Or any kind of topics, any, if you are interested in any specific topic, just to contact me with your interested topic, and we can fix the specific timing. We can do the live together. That kind of collaborations we can do. And similarly, if you want me to uh, join the discussion in your live or in your video, I can do that, provided that you allow me to share my AI course, or tell about my books and AI course and one-on-one coaching. Okay, so I'm just looking for various ways to promote my services and products. So in that case, I can talk about RAG agents, that kind of stuff, or anything related to AI related things or emerging technologies. So and that mean, while doing that, I can just tell about my books. But your audience should be significant audience. So right now, though my channel is having 70,000 subscribers, YouTube is not recommending my um, live or videos to the audience. So that is the reason why I'm exploring other platforms to tell about my services and products. Okay. Okay. Thanks. Okay. Bye.